After 10 years of marriage, you start believing you've already witnessed every shade of love, the comfort that feels like home, the arguments that never truly end, and the quiet, fragile moments that hold you together in spite of everything. I honestly thought Anna and I had explored every chapter love had to offer. That belief shattered one ordinary Tuesday evening. We sat across the dinner table, half-eaten pasta between us, when she lifted her gaze and said words that froze the air between us. "I think we should try being polyamorous." At first I laughed, actually laughed, assuming I'd misheard her. But then I saw her expression. Calm, serious, deliberate. It wasn't a joke. "What are you talking about?" I asked, my fork suspended midair. "You heard me," she said evenly. "I think we should open our relationship, see other people." A pulse of disbelief thudded in my ears. I couldn't tell whether to laugh again, yell, or just walk out. Polyamory from Anna? The same woman who once ignored me for hours because I'd chatted too long with a waitress? The irony nearly made me choke. Anger burned at the edges of my thoughts. But beneath it, something else stirred, something quieter, something dangerously close to relief. Because what Anna didn't know was that her best friend, Rachel, had already been lingering in my thoughts for months. Rachel was always around: birthdays, dinners, lazy weekends. She and Anna were inseparable, almost like sisters. Yet where Anna was precise, controlled, and always in charge, Rachel was everything she wasn't: soft, spontaneous, easy to be around. She noticed small things about me that Anna hadn't in years. We'd never crossed a line, but there was a tension between us, subtle, electric, unspoken. So when Anna made her grand declaration, I didn't panic. I simply set down my fork, took a slow breath, and said, "All right." Then, almost too calmly, I added, "Rachel already agreed." Silence fell heavy and absolute. The kind of silence that fills a room until even breathing feels too loud. For the first time since I'd known her, Anna's composure cracked. "What do you mean, Rachel?" she asked, her voice unsteady. "Exactly what it sounds like," I replied, leaning back in my chair. "You wanted to open things up. I'm just following your lead." I watched the color drain from her face. In 10 years together, I had never seen Anna speechless. But now she sat frozen, lips parted, eyes wide, struggling to process the reality she herself had unleashed. "This isn't what I meant," she finally snapped, slamming her glass down so hard water splashed across the table. "I meant we'd explore together. Not that you'd run off with my best friend." A quiet, bitter laugh escaped me. "You opened the door, Anna. You just didn't expect me to be the first to walk through it." And just like that, the balance shifted. For years, I'd been the one keeping the peace, swallowing my pride, apologizing first, surrendering just to end another fight. But now, the control she'd always clung to was slipping through her fingers. The days that followed were thick with silence and tension. Anna tried to erase that night, pretending it had never happened. But once words escape into the air, there's no way to pull them back. Meanwhile, Rachel and I kept talking. What began as casual coffee turned into dinners, and dinners turned into late nights filled with quiet honesty. Rachel confessed that she'd cared for me for a long time, but had buried those feelings out of loyalty to Anna. Now there was no reason to hide anymore. The invisible line Anna had drawn between us was gone. When Rachel and I finally crossed that line, it wasn't revenge. It wasn't anger. It was tenderness, something real and gentle. For the first time in years, I felt truly seen. Wanted. Of course, Anna found out. She always did. The confrontation that followed was a storm, shouting, tears, accusations. Every word she threw at me, I countered with one truth. "You are the one who wanted to open the marriage. You can't be furious that I walked through the door you unlocked." In the end, everything fell apart. Maybe the cracks had been there long before that dinner. Maybe her suggestions simply gave me the courage to stop pretending. But I was no longer the same man. I wasn't begging for affection or trying to fix something already shattered. I had found warmth, understanding, the kind of gentle connection I'd forgotten existed. When Anna said, "Let's try polyamory," She thought she was freeing herself. But in truth, she set me free. And when I told her, Rachel already said yes, I meant every word. That was the moment everything changed, not for her, but for me.